Alright, Shalom Akim. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and all glory unto the true and living power, which is Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai Ba'Hashem Rachah Kadash. Yahweh is the true name of the Heavenly Father. Yahushai is the true name of His only begotten Son. And I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who were well, and who have taught us this truth through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai, and honors and citations to the elect Akim doing these works in sincerity and truth. And pretty much, man, I'm just getting to Psalms 107, man. You know, it's a bad chapter, and I'm pretty much reading in spirit, you know, because as Romans 15:4 says, all things were written aforetime for our learning. Okay, so we can take these scriptures and apply it to today, all right, because we see how Yahweh Shema Shai works, you know, how he gets down, you know, what he's done for us, and, you know, the scriptures say he's the Lord, and he changed not. Malachi 3:6. So, right, man, Psalms 107:1, it says, "Oh, give thanks unto Yahweh, for he is good, for his mercy endureth forever." All right, and that's exactly what we have to do, man, day in and day out, thanking Yahweh Shema Shai, man. You know, giving all praises and all glory and exalting Yahweh Shema Shai. Okay? We have to continually thank the Lord, man. You know, for all that he has done for us and do for us and is going to do for us, man. You know, we have to show ourselves thankful, man. Most definitely. So verse 2 says, "Let the redeemed of Yahweh say so, whom he hath redeemed from the hand of the enemy." Alright? Because, right, he's going to redeem. And who's the enemy, man? Who's the enemy? Who's the enemy, man? To you grape juice drinkers, who's the enemy talking about? You can read Psalms 83 to find out, man. Alright, the enemy is all these damn heathens that will wish us harm. Chiefly the so-called white man, who's going to come down as a madman sparing none. So when he comes down like a madman sparing none, we're going to be redeemed from that. Alright? But guess what? Before we redeemed from the hand of the enemy and the rulership of the enemy, the ruler, the Esau, the so-called white man having the rulership over us, we have been redeemed spiritually. Alright? So it says, "Let the redeemed of Yahweh Shema Shai say so, whom he hath redeemed from the hand of the enemy." Right? Because we were all walking zombies out here, man. Alright? Ultimately. But then we stood on our feet. Alright? Through what? Abba Bivens. Alright? The eldest, High Priest Ariel. Alright? Elder Yaquab, Elder Masha. And then on to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who's holding it down now. Alright? Elder Apostle Tahar, Elder Apostle Gabar, Elder Apostle Rakha, Elder Apostle Ramlab. Alright? We standing on our feet. So this is real quick, I'll get that. Revelations 11:8. Because before everything happens physically, before everything begins to get physical, is mental and is spiritual first and foremost, man. Alright? So Revelations, so we've been redeemed spiritually, man. Alright, by coming back into our heritage. You know, and that's why Esau the so-called white man has to pay, man, because, you know, I quoted Jeremiah 17:4, we've been discontinued from our heritage. Alright, by who? As the scriptures say, there's a group of people, alright, who are the throne of iniquity, alright, the dragon, the border of wickedness, and they also can go by the destroyers of the Lord's heritage. Because he said, the destroyers of mine heritage. Alright, so who's the destroyers of the Lord's heritage? Esau, the so-called white man. Alright? So we've been brought back into our true nationality, Revelations 11:8. "And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt. You know that's America. Egypt, because we were slaves here. We were in captivity here. And Sodom, you already know why. It says where also our Lord was crucified. It says, and it was spiritually Sodom and Egypt, man. Alright? And the Lord was crucified in Rome, so that actually goes to show you that this is spiritual Rome as well. Alright? He was crucified, not in Rome, Salakia, not in Rome, but under the Roman, on these Romans' rulership. Alright? I should have said, Salakia. So, verse 9 says, and they are the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half. Alright? And shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves. And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them, and make merry, and shall send gifts one to another, because these two prophets tormented them that dwell in the earth. Alright? So, right, our dead bodies, as it says here in verse 9, and they are the people in kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half. Alright, that's talking about from the time period of 1620 to the 1970s, man. Alright, when we were in that dead state, right, when we didn't know who we was. Okay, because in the 1970s is when, in the 70s, man, is when the elders begin to come on the scene. Alright, so jumping down to verse 11, and after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them, man. See, so we have been redeemed spiritually first, and then that's going to turn physical, because we're going to be saved out of the hand of Esau, man, the so-called white man. All right. Wow. So verse 3, right? It says, and gathered them out of the lands, from the east and from the west, from the north and from the south. See? So while it begins mentally and spiritually first, then it gets physical. And how are we going to be gathered out? Through the chariots, man. The chariots of Israel, what they inwardly call UFOs. And now the next verse, in verse 4, gets into, Egypt. But we know, that that's not talking about Egypt in the third verse, because in order to be gathered, that means you were scattered. And we were scattered from the east, from the west, from the north, and from the south. When we was delivered out of ancient Egypt, we was all together. All right? We was all together, man. So this is how you know we're talking about, the scriptures are talking about a new deliverance, man, which the scriptures even plainly say about that. Jeremiah 23rd chapter. So verse 4 says, they wandered in the wilderness in a solitary way. They found no city to dwell in. Okay, absolutely right. And comparing it to today, when we were those dead bodies, it's like we were wandering in the wilderness, going in circles. And it said they found no city to dwell in. Right? We found no city to dwell in, man. But as Yahweh Shemashah woke us up, guess what? Now we seeking for a continuing city to come, man. All right? But ultimately, we were like in that same estate, man. All right? Wandering in the wilderness, man. Even the dead, all right? The zombies are just wandering around. So our people was dead, man, for 3 days and a half. All right? So this is verse 5. It says, hungry and thirsty, their soul fainted in them. Right, but just how we was in ancient Egypt, our people was hungry and thirsty, complaining, murmuring against the Lord, murmuring against Moses. Damn near wanted to put Moses to death, because their souls was fainting in them. But the scriptures also say, all right, that you got to be hungry and thirsty for this truth, and that's why our people, the scriptures say the elect, but the election have obtained it. See, because they're hungry and thirsty for this truth, for the truth, man. That's why we're wrapped up in all these different religions. All right, but guess what? The elect obtained it. So verse 6, it says, then they cried unto Yahweh Shemashai in their trouble, and he delivered them out of their distress, right? Going into ancient Egypt. Our forefather did cry unto the Lord, and he delivered them through what? Through the manna. All right? He gave them manna, man. All right? Bread from the heavens for our people to eat. He allowed Moses to strike rocks and bring water out. But guess what? We are going to be delivered in today and age as well, man. Yahweh Shemashai always comes through for us, man. He always comes through for the nation of Israel when we are in dire straits. Always, man. So verse 6 says, then they cried unto Yahweh Shemashai in their trouble. And guess what? We are going to cry unto Yahweh Shemashai in our trouble. But guess what? 2/3 aren't Israelites, man. 2/3 ain't Israelites in this day and age. So it ain't going to work for them. They're heathens. They're looked at as heathens, man. Alright? They're looked at as heathens in today's day and age, man. So only the elect is going to cry unto Yahweh Shemashai in our trouble. And we're going to be delivered out of our distresses, man. Okay? It says, and he led them forth by the right way, that they may go to a city of habitation, man. Oh, that men would praise Yahweh Shemashai for his goodness and for his wonderful works to the children of men. For he satisfieth the longing soul and filleth the hungry soul with goodness. Alright? So, just reading in the spirit, you can continue to read Psalms 107. It's a beautiful chapter. But, just getting in the spirit on this, man, to have faith, man. We are going to be delivered, man. We always was. When the hammer came down on Esau, man, Esau, man. To hell with Esau, man. When the hammer came down upon us, upon our people, Israelites, Yahweh Shemashai was there for us, man. But in this day and age, he's only going to be there for the elect. All right, so when the distress comes, when the flood comes upon the elect, Isaiah 59:19, when the flood comes upon us, and Esau tries to bring distress upon us, man, we're going to be delivered out of those troubles, man. All right, so shalom.